Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Kilby with Culpeper County 4-H. Today we're going to do our next flower in the book Wake Up Woods. Illustrations are by Jillian Harris, text is by Michael Homoa, and verses are by Shane Gibson. So let's take a look at the beautiful illustrations that are in this book. So trout lilies. Trout lily is the plant that we are going to be talking about today in this video. Our first illustration here is a field ant. And this looks like a seed pod. We'll come over and here's that beautiful green foliage we're going to talk about. And then we have the stem that leads to the bloom of a trout lily. And right inside the center, we have our next insect, a metallic green sweat bee. And then coming over all the way to the end, we have our last one. This is a pollinator. It's a type of bee. It's a trout lily bee. Yellow and white trout lilies are common early spring wildflowers that are nearly identical except for their color. They look a lot like a lily that you might find in a flower shop, just much smaller. Their thick green leaves are normally speckled, like the pattern of a kind of fish we call trout. And now you know how it got its name. So here's that speckled foliage on the trout lily. This bloom is yellow, and this bloom is white. Sometimes you will find leaves that are mostly green. It's not unusual to see large trout lilies in colonies, so that means that there's more than one of the plant together, with single leaves and no blooms. Watch out for plants that have two leaves, a sign that they have stored enough energy for the sun to produce a flower. The flowers are visited by a variety of different bees, including one called the trout lily mining bee. Like many spring wildflowers, their seeds are dispersed by ants. So here's the ant, and that is a seed pod. It's dispersing, it's carrying those seeds, so that way we can have more trout lilies bloom, that beautiful foliage and the blooms of a trout lily. So stay tuned for our next plant in the book, Wake Up Woods.